Hello, this is Gray Hughes. Many of you have followed my channel for a while and remember the video that I made on Megan Oxendine, Christina Bennett, and Rhonda Jones, the Lumberton murders. Well, yesterday I was looking on Google and typed in Lumberton murders, and there was another murder, amazingly on the same street as Megan Oxendine, Bennett, and Jones that I just mentioned a minute ago. Literally less than, I believe, a quarter of a mile from where Oxendine was murdered, there was another body in the lawn, and a person named Matthew McDougald was arrested. Matthew McDougald is 37, James Bethea is 48. Now, what I did was I actually called the Lumberton Police Department and was able to speak to Detective Whitley. And I asked him about this case, Oxendine and Matthew McDougald. And he said that they don't believe at this time that James Bethea's death, murdered by Matthew McDougald, is related to Christina Bennett, Oxendine, or Jones. It's just a coincidence, basically. And we did talk about that. They notice all the same things that we're actually looking at here, the things that I'm seeing too. All right, the Abby Patterson case, which is right here. You've got 3 murders right here, a murder here. I also mentioned how Christina Bennett lived here. Matthew Stevens McCrae lived right there. These are 2 other people that were murdered, Matthew McCrae and Ashley Nicole Smith. But look at Rhonda Jones. Her last known address is right next to Ashley Nicole Smith. And Christina Bennett is right next to where Matthew Stevens McCrae lived. So it's weird. You have these little clusters right there, right here. And then Christina Bennett was actually murdered and found here, or at least found here. Maybe she was murdered somewhere else, and perhaps this is a dumping site. Okay, it was really neat talking to Detective Whitley. I actually have a recording of the call so I could refer back to it. He wasn't able to give me any information. I asked if there was DNA found. He said he can't answer that question. He also couldn't answer if he believes these 3 are all related. I think they have to be. If they're not, it's just the biggest coincidence in mankind. He didn't know much about the Abby Patterson case as he wasn't assigned to that one. He was assigned to Oxendine, Bennett, and Jones. But he was actually really appreciative that people out in the public are actually looking into this. And he knows that we might come up with something he isn't aware of or hadn't thought of. So I think it'd be really neat if we all got more involved with this particular case. He said it's very complex and very unique, this case right here of Oxendine, Bennett, and Jones. He doesn't have any information on Abby Patterson. They do not believe that the death of James Bethea right here is related to these 3. He did... Oh, yeah, this is something I wanted to say. I almost forgot. Because last night there was somebody in the chat that mentioned railroad tracks, and maybe they were maybe there's a murder on the train, and she said, that's too obvious. And I, kind of made fun of it because I hear that in almost every case when there's a railroad track anywhere around. People start claiming, maybe it was somebody on the train because maybe there was a case where there was a serial killer that used the trains at one point. All right. Well, I did ask, and this is an active train track. And I asked him, he offered on his own that the train travels by there every other day or so. And then I said, I did have a viewer that mentioned that. I didn't remember the viewer's name. I apologize for that. And I asked, have you looked into the possibility, based on the timing of the train, that the killer was using the train to travel? And he said he can't answer that question. But I did ask, well, if I brought something up that you hadn't looked at, would you have to answer that question the same way? And he said yes. So we don't know. That could have been a new lead for him, or it might not have been. Okay, so whoever came up with the train suggestion, I did mention it to him, and who knows if that'll help them out. So I guess I shouldn't make fun of some suggestions sometimes. Who knows? Me and him even talked about, I watched Joe Kenda, and he said, oh yeah, he watches Joe Kenda too, and that, how life is just random. That's what Joe Kenda says all the time. Sometimes weird things just happen. I apologize if you keep hearing my dog's collar. He keeps jumping up and down. And a minute ago, he was even scratching down his bed. And that makes a lot of noise, so I had to re-record a couple spots because it was really loud. All right, so I thought I'd put out this update for you guys. This case to me is interesting. I remember looking at Abby Patterson, but then immediately being drawn to Megan Oxendine, Christina Bennett, and Rhonda Jones's murders because of just the unique circumstances surrounding them. You had Christina Bennett found here, decaying in an abandoned home, I believe. It was abandoned. And then in that search, they actually literally found another body in a trash can over here, and that was Rhonda Jones. Christina Bennett was 32, Rhonda Jones 36, and both of them were found on April 18th, 2017. The following day, after these bodies were found, on April 19th, Megan Oxendine did an interview on the street talking about her friends and being upset about it. Then on June 3rd, 2017, Megan Oxendine was found dead herself right in this area. So literally just a block or so away. Maybe 2 blocks. And that's when I thought, okay, that's really strange and bizarre right there. So I started following that case, and then over time I found, I've been looking into other murders in the area. Okay, and that's when I came up with where I found where Christina Bennett lived, and I found where Rhonda Jones lived, and then there was 2 other people that were murdered. This couple here, Matthew Stephen McCrae and Ashley Nicole Smith, were murdered. And if you look, there's sort of this geographical relationship right here. I find it just really bizarre, and I don't know if that's related at all, because they actually arrested 4 people related to the Matthew McCrae and Ashley Smith murders. They were arrested up here. Tiffany Leanne Smith, Juan Montel Lewis, and Patrick Leon Gatlin, and there was one other person that was arrested, and I don't have their name on here, but they were arrested as well. All right, so that's where we're at. It turns out that they do not believe that James Bethea murder, literally within a quarter mile of where Megan Oxendine was murdered, is related at all to their 3 murders. Okay, so I think it'd be great if we all started looking into this case a little bit more. It would be awesome if we could actually help out, because they actually seemed like they wanted help. When I was talking to Detective Whitley, it sounded like they are interested in having information. They have none right now. He said any information is better than none. They have their own information. They know, they've done all the forensic information on the crime scene. They know how they were murdered and so forth. And maybe they have DNA. I don't know. They have all that information. But what they need is more information from the public to start putting pieces together to make a case. All right. Now, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do so. Make sure you hit the subscribe bell next to the Once you hit subscribe, you have to hit the bell. Now, if you have a cell phone, you actually have to select. It normally has occasional selected right here. You want to select all. So every time I make a video, you're always given a notification. All right, I'm not bombarding you with videos. I don't make, 3 videos a day or anything like that. I mean, I have done that before, but that's not what I normally do, okay? All right, so you want to make sure you have this all selected here. Let's see if I can find, yeah, like in this case. See right there? Make sure you have all selected. Okay, and if you'd like, maybe share the video with other people so they can start looking into the case too. My contact information is on the video, so you can send me an email if you find something, and then we can put that together in a video and even contact the same detective and give him some information. I think that'd be great. I think that's kind of what we all want to do, is help solve one of these cases at some point. Okay, so until next time, everybody, be safe out there.